What's up, everybody? Welcome back to haloskitchen, the best kitchen out there, period. It's Chef A here, and I'm so glad to be back. I know it's been quite a long time since I've been on here, but yeah, today we're gonna be making some chicken birria tacos, and I kind of made it like Valentine's Day themed with this heart-shaped plate that I have. And just, with Valentine's Day passing, I also wanted to talk about, a few things revolving around that, love, the topic of love. That's what the holiday is about. So, yeah. So, if you're new to my channel, this is like the type of video where, my voiceover is going to be talking about a certain topic, and I'll just have all the ingredients and all the steps, everything that I'm doing is going to be in subtitles. And I'll also include the recipe down below in the description, so make sure you go check that out. Make sure you go check out all of my social medias, go follow me, turn on your notifications, like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So yeah, I just wanted to start off by reading this poem that I had found on Twitter. I believe it's by, Kia Marlene. Forgive me if I'm saying that name wrong. But yeah, here it goes. He said, "How deep can your love get for me?" I said it can get deeper than the underworld, deeper than that other girl. I would drown in the love I have for you, change forms and resurrect as your heart. I would resurrect in your soul. I would want my essence to rise from your spine to your third eye and resurrect your energy as whole. My love would awaken the sleeping goddess within you, uncoil that serpent power, and I would watch how it flow. My love for you can get deep, where no one would ever dig it out. It would be stuck in the back of your mind, where you yourself wouldn't be able to get it out. My love for you can get deep, like the mathematical equation in the language of the universe that nobody has quite figured out. My love for you could change us both from the densest matter to the lightest frequency, where from this plane, we would have no choice but to transfigure out. My love for you can get deep because my desire to love you in a million different ways is deeper. My love for you can get deep, where love itself will whisper in your ear and tell you that I am a definite keeper, because my love gets deep. And it can get deep for you. All right, let's just give that a few snaps right there, because period. But yeah, reading that poem, it really inspired me to just talk about this topic and whatnot. So yeah, and I just wanted to touch on love and, also a little bit on divine timing as well, since that kind of correlates into that. So yeah, and I want to start off by talking about what exactly is love, because so many people confuse it. And I've talked about this in one of my other videos about this book called All About Love. It's by Bell Hooks, where she was explaining it, and it just makes the most sense out of all the different websites and books or whatever that I've read, trying to explain what it is. So yeah, it just makes the most sense to me. And pretty much, according to her, love is an act of will, it's an intention and an action. And according to her, love is a mix of care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, trust, and honesty / open communication. And, it's really a beautiful thing, but it's also very scary to most people. I've picked up on that, how we're so obsessed with it. Yet, we're also scared of it at the same time. I remember myself being so afraid to surrender, trust, and be intimate with another person. And, so many people long for it, but lack the courage to actually take those risks, to be able to, actually, find those connections with people. Or even just allow them to come in, because, most of the time love does find you anyways when you're not even looking for it. But so many people end up, sabotaging that for themselves because they're afraid, And I saw this TikTok the other day, talking about that. That's a sign that, you're not exactly healed from your trauma or whatever, because, once something good finally comes to you, you end up ruining it. And, that's a sign that you are healed, when something good finally comes and you don't end up ruining it, whether that's a connection with someone or something physical, it doesn't matter. But, a connection with someone, love or whatever, can definitely fall into that. So yeah, and honestly, me personally, I'm so done with that. That being so worried and scared to surrender and trust and be intimate and whatnot. I'm done, being worried about regretting, what'll happen if I do decide to take this leap of faith, or just worrying about what the outcome will be. I'm finally, building up that courage within myself to open my heart back up, if I really do want to experience this one day. I became so used to coming across a decent or good, healthy situation with someone, and then I would just always have these negative thoughts in the back of my head. This is just too good to be true. I just know something's gonna go downhill from here. Like all these other people that I've dealt with in the past, have done me wrong. It just ended up not working out and whatnot. So why would I want to put myself through that again? And that's just not the mindset to go with, because literally you'll just end up manifesting that in the first place, And I just don't want that to be my reality anymore. I just remember I was also so deep into the men ain't S phase in my life. And I just kept attracting more and more guys that fit into that category, because that was literally the mindset that I had, that only those existed, so only those would come towards me in the first place. And that's kind of what happens with everybody in general. So it's like I'm gonna speak as if, there is good out there for me, there's better out there for me, like it's possible for me to find that, So, let's start thinking about all this when it comes to manifesting, and not just, with manifesting, personal goals and physical things or whatever. I just also want to keep in mind things like that, since I am interested in experiencing love one day as well. So I feel like, that should fall into that too. I hope that makes sense. But I also just like to remind myself that even if things were to go downhill with someone that I decide to take a leap of faith with, that there's a blessing in every lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. And every relationship that I've been in has taught me more. It's brought me closer to myself and made me make myself better as a person. I'm so serious when I say this is the closest that I've ever felt connected, and just connected to my inner child or whatever, I didn't even realize for so many years how much I had been neglecting that part of myself. And honestly, I just got to give props to all the failed relationships that I've been in with, whether those were platonic relationships, because it's not always romantic relationships that teach you these things, that force you to grow in certain areas and whatnot. But yes, I just have to trust, that I'm being divinely guided by God in the universe. I actually do believe that anyways. I trust that. I just have to remind myself that whenever I do just start to, I don't want to say necessarily lose faith or whatever, or I guess I should say that. Or I'm just not really understanding why certain things have to happen. I just have to, trust in God, trust in the universe's plan, that, they know what's best for me, that God knows what's best for me. He knows everything that goes on behind closed doors, every conversation that, you never heard. So when God suddenly removes that person that, you thought could have maybe potentially been, around for much longer than they were, then, that's protection. Rejection is protection. I always try to keep that in mind, for real. I've really had to learn that with this upcoming year and whatnot, not take things so personally. I heavily believe in divine timing, and that everything happens at the right time, just when it's supposed to. I feel like we meet people at the right time as well. And I also just want to kind of touch on the whole perspective that, there's such thing as the right person but the wrong time. And honestly, I used to be a believer in that as well, but I don't know, just thinking more and more about it is just I don't think that's true. I definitely think that it can be the wrong time for you to be together with that right person, that person that you feel is right for you. but they always come around just when they're, supposed to. That person could possibly, come around just to like, I don't know, kind of be like a reflection to you, or just show you, stuff that you might need to work on that you couldn't really see for yourself, like, really grasp that on your own. Sometimes we need other people to help us see certain things about ourselves. And it's possible that you might have needed to hear that from your potential, long-term partner in the future, or whatever, that right person. They can, sometimes be the only person to show you that. Your friends, sometimes your friends can't, tell you everything about yourself, or just trigger that in you to finally see it for yourself. So, yeah. Ultimately, there's really no such thing as anything happening at the wrong time, to be honest. Well, at least in my personal opinion, I don't believe so. It just falls into every single thing happening for a reason. Like, I feel like that goes for everything, even something like that. Yet, a lot of people say they believe in that, yet they think that it's still possible for you to, like, meet someone at the wrong time, when I just don't think that's the case anymore. And sometimes we might even feel that, it's the wrong time or whatever, because we weren't prepared for, like, this to even come for real. Like, most people, love with them, like, love comes to them when they least expect it. Like, anything romantic for real that, kind of ends up having that good potential or whatever, like us actually being able to see that in the future, we tend to just kind of like, reject that and take it as like, oh no, like, I'm not ready or whatever. Or that it would have been better if this had came at like a later time in my life. But I just, I have a lot more faith in God and like God's plan, God's vision or whatever, to trust that, this happened like just at the perfect time. Like, I'm learning how to release the desire to have so much control and, just trying to have like a control of everything. I just want to let things flow a lot more now. Like, of course, there's still, free will and whatnot. You still definitely have the right to do whatever you please, but it's just, it can be some situations where, even no matter how hard you're rejecting something, whatever's like meant for you will always end up finding you anyways. It's going to end up chasing you in the first place. The more that you run, the more they're like going to chase. You're running, that means something is chasing after you, And with this generation, like, a lot of them, they don't want to put in the work that might be required to like bring certain things into their life and whatnot. Some people, they bring like, a force of change with them for them to like be around. I hope that makes sense. And a lot of people just aren't, they simply just aren't ready for that change. They don't want to put in that work just yet, because they desire just like that much control over their life. Like, it really gets that deep, people don't even be thinking like that, but I be thinking like that. Yeah. And I can't even like really speak from the perspective of like them, they, or whatever, because like I've literally been there before. And I guess that's why I feel so comfortable like talking about this or whatever, because I can kind of confirm like that is the case. That's been the case for myself in the past. I finally let it go, but that's been the case for myself. And I know that's still the case for like a lot of other people, especially in this generation. And sometimes I feel like, God or the universe or whatever will even just, get a little fed up with some of us and like us not like getting the bigger picture, getting the message or whatever, not really wanting to, take that change or whatever. Well, I wouldn't even say get fed up, because, God and the universe or whatever is like very patient with us, but let's just say God will, let you mess up in life, let you just continue to do that until you finally see things clearly for yourself. So with that being said, those people, whoever may pop up in your life that could seem like the right person for you, sometimes God will let them walk away, because you're not showing that maturity or just putting in that effort or whatever to actually, be able to like accept that in your life. Like, do the work that it takes for you to be able to have that person or whatever, have that type of connection, you know, come to life. So yeah, moral of the story is, you know, divine timing is real. You know, we should all trust in divine timing a lot more instead of questioning everything so much, because I swear it drives you so much crazier. Well, me personally, it drives me, you know, so much more crazier, just always wondering and worrying and just questioning every single thing instead of just letting things flow, you know, and just learning how to accept, you know, certain connections or just things or whatever, blessings that are given to me, whether, you know, it feels like the right time or not. Like, deep down, I just have to remember that, you know, everything is the right time, if that makes sense. So yeah, just let me know like what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinions. Let me know if you disagree with anything that I said. We can definitely talk about it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I definitely hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for another video. Bye.